Hey guys, Rich from Rich Rig Gaming. Welcome to the Wanga podcast, a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast. We have got quite a lot to go through on today's show. Sorry to everyone that we haven't been doing these for a while. I mentioned in some of the posts the reasons why. But joining me to break down all things MinStravaganza, at least in terms of Star Wars Shatterpoint, is of course Mr. Quinn Duggan. Quinn, how the hell are you doing, sir?
Wait, this isn't a Legion stream.
This is not a Legion stream, no.
Oh, right. No, I'm out.
Adjust your TV sets, or do not adjust your TV sets. Is that the right one?
Who owns the TV anymore? Like,
I don't know. I still own a TV.
Okay, boomer. Wait, don't you just mean a big monitor for your computer?
I mean, to be fair, that is where I watch. I still watch most of my stuff in my office anyway, because I've got an ultra-wide monitor and there's a little Google Chrome app that you can download and it makes Disney Plus loads of other things full cinema screen. So I get to watch Ahsoka and everything else in the true cinema format. Is it like 21:9, I think? So
the One of Wanga is brought to you today by... Go on. Tell them the name of it. I assume we're being sponsored.
By who? Disney Plus?
No, this Chrome extension.
Oh, I have no idea what it's called. I just downloaded it.
We are, however, sponsored. Contract gone.
We are, however, sponsored by Leodis Games, so go check them out. There'll be a link down in the description below. Quinn, all sorts to talk about from MinStravaganza. It's fair to say they didn't let us down, which is good. I think across everything, really. The MCP stuff was really good, as you guys know. We've already been breaking down some of that stuff. We'll do, like we're doing today, we're not going to do any character breakdowns today, guys, any full character breakdowns. We've been doing them as separate videos. But we will take a look at some of the revealed cards. And then next week, when it is the Weekly Bugle, we'll be doing the same for the MCP side of things. But yeah, Quinn, let's jump straight into it and let's start by talking about the fact that in November, we're getting a brand new card pack.
Is it November?
Yes, they have confirmed. They have confirmed.
Okay,
yeah,
because they confirmed it and then they put it up and it wasn't confirmed and then
it went up as November. Yeah, it went up as November. Then they said February on the website, but they have confirmed. They have confirmed that it is going to be November. First of all, I mean, don't get me wrong, the new map pack is more than welcome. Couple of things about it. First of all, lessons learned from MCP. Do not hide the game itself behind character packs.
Don't
Keep
hide
them separate.
this kind of content behind plastic.
Yeah, so that's the first really, really good thing. Second of all, thing that I was quite surprised about, the number of people that were like, oh God, I'm so glad there's a map pack coming out. I'm so bored with Shatterpoint. And I was like, I don't quite get that. I don't know many people that play as much as me, you, Ron, plus a couple of other guys on the Discord. And I'm not bored about it at all.
I'm not. I know, like, Ron suffered a bit of fatigue with relation to just it being the same map over and over. But, like, I'm fine with it. Like, you know...
Quinn.
I tend to have a bit more... What?
You're roboting again. It's fine. You've come back. You've come back. I think I'm in agreement with you. Like, for me...
There's enough character-based content for it to still feel fresh.
Yeah, because the character stuff has come thick and fast.
Yeah.
But we have got a new map. We can see Sabotage Showdown. Now, I had a little bit of a hissy fit, Quinn, didn't I, when I was watching this live, because they showed the Hondo artwork, and I was like, yes, it's happening. They're actually going to show him. And then they showed us this, and I was like, oh, you bastards.
That little meltdown of yours was fun to watch whilst I was on the way to the emergency dentist, I've got to say.
Yeah, so yeah, anyway, but we'll get on to, we'll we'll get on to how AMG redeem themselves anyway. So let's talk about this, Quinn, because it changes quite a few things. First of all, because I have been building maps this week, and I have been building them for the new Sabotage Showdown as well. One of the things I will say is, first of all, there's only 8 objectives. No, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, there's only 7 objectives versus the 9 that we got in the shifting priorities, I think it's called, in the first one.
Yeah.
It brings everything in. Like, it has condensed the map quite considerably.
The corners just sort of don't exist anymore, right?
Yeah, which I think is I'm absolutely fine with.
I'm
like
cool with
everyone getting in the middle. Yeah, everyone getting in the middle and having a big old scrap. I am more than happy with. So first of all, the layout really, really nice. I do like that.
Yeah,
this is going to follow the same structure. You're going to get 3 phase 1s, 3 phase 2s, and 3 phase 3s. It's also worth pointing out, Quinn, isn't it, that this is one of the things now that will change with priority. So as part of rolling and becoming the first player, so winning the priority, you get to pick the map pack that you are going to use. So if you've got both...
pick, or do you just use the one you've taken?
You use the one you've taken.
Yeah,
yes.
You take one as part of like your strike team or Premier list, right? And then that's the one that you play as if you win.
I think it is that. Let's double check on that, Quinn.
I think that
I think it is right. Because when you're building your strike team, a map pack is included as part of a strike team. So you as the priority, I think you get to choose either yours or your opponent's. I think there's a thing in there. We'll have a quick look and we'll clarify. But I think that is part of it. You get to choose which one.
I mean, if you want to go look that up, we could talk about something else very important and rather refreshing with relation to this map layout, which is...
well, I can't because all my screens are taken up. But talk about that though, Quinn, because that is huge.
There's no optimal deployment on this. You can go where you want. You don't have to go like halfway between 2 objectives every time.
Yeah. I mean, there is going to be an optimal deployment still because you're going to want one squad in the middle. Or, I mean, actually, you don't even need that. You can have them on the flanks and then just have one character controlling both back points.
Each, you get a lot more freedom in that regard, and I am very much here for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's also talk about, Quinn, and we don't know yet if this is on... I don't believe we know if this is just going to be on phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 cards. But it's at least going to be on phase 2 or phase 3 because we don't know which of these are yet. But you'll see there is a little symbol there with press forward. At the start of this unit's activation, each character in this unit may dash. Now, we're led to believe, Quinn, aren't we, that each one of these cards is going to have some text on the bottom, some additional text that I believe is linked to the Shatterpoint. I think that's right, isn't it? So when
that would be like my guess going forward. Like it'll have some sort of additional rules benefit for being chosen with the Shatterpoint, which is interesting and gives another layer of complexity and decision making with regard to like what struggle you pick. Well, actually, no. That's not a thing you do in this game.
Because you can't pick the struggles, yeah. Well, no, you don't, because you pick them and then you get to choose top. You get to choose which.
Yeah, you get randomly dealt one. Yeah, so that doesn't. Maybe that's why I'm so good at Shatterpoint. I've been picking my struggles.
Yeah. You just open up and go, which looks best for me.
I'll have that one that's a straight line down the middle or across.
Number 1 player in the world, people. Number 1 player in the world. But yeah, I really like that, Quinn. Again, it adds even more variety and is really going to make you think about what you want to do with your Shatterpoint. Like, one of these is press forward. One of them, I imagine, you could have tactical retreat. Is there going to be an attack in here? I mean, that feels very good, but...
I mean, Hello, Anakin.
Well, exactly. So I really like it.
Anakin
I
kills two
really,
secondaries in an activation. Ooh.
I really, really like it. One other thing to point out, actually, Quinn, is worth pointing out again, just because this is the first sort of map pack that we've had. You'll notice a little symbol in the bottom right-hand corner of all the cards. That is the map pack symbol or mission pack symbol. You cannot mix and match, so you can't take in your map pack for your strike team. You can't take 2 or 3 cards from this one, 2 or 3 cards from shifting priorities. It's all or nothing, isn't it, Quinn? You've got to take every single one of the cards from there.
Do we know what the little picture is actually of?
I don't know, because it's too low res for me to be able to.
I can't think, because the other one was like
in.
Ahsoka's like little sort of markings, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure
I'm
on
going
this
to
one.
choose to believe that this is Hondo's like monkey's face.
It could be. Could be. Maybe. Let's take a quick look at see who's in the chat. 28 of you here already, guys. Wowzers. Jock, hope you're well. Sean, hey buddy. Jason, you were duped. I'm not sure how. Phil, Outrider Dan turns the rabbit ear aerials on his mobile. Hope you're well, buddy. Glyn says hello to the collaborator. Davey
Hello,
says,
Glyn.
hey lads, I see the new IP policy from AMG has caused both TTS mods being delisted and listed again. What does this mean going forward for the mods? Well, guys, I am happy to say that I have taken over the mod. So we're currently looking at what it is we're doing. It's all up to date, or mostly up to date with characters. I've been teaching myself how to build 3D models. I've been teaching myself how to build maps. Quinn, I was on a live stream with Quinn the other day, and he saw how frustrating it was. Tried it himself, lasted 10 minutes, and got bored.
I also improved your map, so you know.
You did. It was a let's say it was a collaboration, Quinn, shall we?
Yeah. You're collaborating with me now. Is that what we're saying?
So yeah, the mod is here to stay, guys. We've just put a brand new Endor map in celebration of our furry little friends getting released. I'm currently working on a street level Coruscant map with all sorts of cool little neon signs and things like that. So again, teaching myself how to use Blender and make neon signs is fun. So yes, there's going to be more stuff coming for it. The mod itself isn't going to change too much. The things that are going to be consistent are new maps and then all the new characters that come out. So yes, it is here to stay. Do we know which struggle? So Double the Fall says, do we know which struggle between second and third will have only one setup, and which will let the loser of the previous struggle choose a set up as in the first mission?
My assumption is that. Oh wait, actually, no. Yeah, that's. Look at the card pack, Rich, and look at the actual cards. That second row of cards. What do they all have in common?
Shut down the alarms, set the charges, secure the exits.
It's beneath the titles. There's an extra bit of space that isn't present on the 3 cards we can see that have multiple map layouts.
Ooh.
So potentially 6 of the 9 in this mission pack.
Well, actually, Quinn, if you look at the 4 middle cards and the Find the Escape Tunnel, that is exactly the same as well.
Yeah.
It only has a single map on it.
So the question being asked here, and you know, the observation being made that we didn't make ourselves is
no. It's not. Let's recap here, guys. So let's take another closer look at these cards. So you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards with the space at the top. 3 cards without the space at the top. The cards that don't have the space have the extra little bit on the bottom. All of the other ones, I believe, are only a single map. Because look at Signal the Transporter. That is a single map, but it has the block symbol on as a priority, meaning it is either going to be a struggle 2 or struggle 3 card. So very interesting. So there may not be a choice on these. And who knows, there could be some extra text on these guys. So yeah, look, it's what I like is it is not rinse and repeat. What I also like is, Quinn, is that whilst the priority one moves, these are not movable VPs. You cannot pick them up, you cannot run with them, you cannot leave. At least we don't think you can.
You cannot hide.
You cannot hide. So whenever my dice roll fails on TTS, I can blame you. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely, Dan. Remy B trying to read these rules on the mission card just took 2 years off my eyes. Yeah, look, guys, it was a screenshot from a live stream, so it is what it is. But overall, Quinn, very, very happy that we are getting new mission packs.
Yeah.
They've already alluded to a third, but I like their approach to it. I like the fact that they have waited an amount of time. It's going to be 6 months, I believe. Oh, Jock, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate the super chat. Great show as always, guys. How do you feel Shatterpoint is shaking up compared to MCP was with a similar amount of time out? Well, Jock, funny you should ask that, because I was kind of just going to do a comparison. How MCP was dealt with and how Shatterpoint was dealt with has been very, very different. Shatterpoint has really gone all in on the characters, on the models. They're releasing models at a much faster rate that we ever did in MCP. Now, the other big difference is, at least in my opinion, Quinn, we're actually getting, on average, 33% more units per month than we were with MCP. Typically with MCP, you were getting 2 boxes released a month.
Yeah, you
with
were getting 4
Shatterpoint
character cards. In Shatterpoint, you get 6 on average.
We're getting 6. So it's actually 50% more. God, I can't do my math. So 50% more characters. It's interesting. It's still very, very early days, but I get the feeling, Quinn, they have learned a lot from the mistakes they made building MCP. And let's be honest, guys, that was the first ever gaming system that Atomic Mass Games built. Mistakes were made. I think they've done a really, really good job in rectifying those mistakes in a good, positive way for the community. We've just had the brand new cards revealed for loads of unloved characters, and they're free to download. Yes, you can buy them if you want, but they're free to use, print them on nice glossy photo card or whatever it is, versus you look at some other studios out there and that would have been a £35 codex.
You say other studios, you mean the one studio that does that kind of thing?
Yeah,
it's notorious for it.
Yeah, Games Workshop. So I think there's a lot of lessons learned. I think if you look at the core fundamentals of Shatterpoint, it is set up better for expansion than what MCP is even right now. And I'm going to bring it back to 2 things. First of all, standardization of abilities. If something says force jump, you know what that does, because every single character with force jump does exactly the same thing. You compare that to MCP, and whilst you have very thematic names for things, Bodyguard has 7 different names in the game.
And then that leads Immortality, Invincible Iron Man, all the others.
Yeah, so standardization of abilities, and then those abilities having keywords. So keywords like, I will take Bodyguard, for example, in MCP. You can give it a fancy name, but then if you put in bold text, this character can Bodyguard, you can go to a rules reference and look and go, okay, Bodyguard is XYZ. We don't have that in MCP. We do have it in Shatterpoint. The other thing is character tags. Dathomir, Galactic Republic. I feel like if they were to rebuild MCP today, that is how you would do it. You wouldn't have affiliation lists. You would have the affiliations on the bottom of the card and what they were.
And
you
then you
can
would have
put
abilities that only work for characters with those tags. As a
exactly.
Shatterpoint, right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly
suddenly
that.
you can have a Hellfire Club that just goes, everyone with the mutant tag can be part of this, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly that, exactly that. So I think I think they've learned a lot of lessons, and they've learned lessons probably from Legion as well with what they do. I know a lot of people. I think the one thing I see consistently is people don't like the line of sight rules. They work perfectly fine, and there is zero grey area. Now, that does mean sometimes you have situations where in the real world you wouldn't be able to do what it is you're doing, but you have to sort of look at it from the fact that this is not a stationary thing. It's not a stationary game. If somebody manages to make, to shoot a blaster rifle up at somebody that's, on top of a building, I just see that, Quinn, as, they've pressed the button on the jump pack and, shot themselves up in the air and fired and then come back down. Like,
yeah, like as much as the miniatures are static models on a 40mm disc for the most part, 50mm for some.
yeah,
That's sort of an area of operation, right? And then that's sort of where they're keeping most of their, body when they're operating. That's sort of, that's where they are most of the time. They are still dashing out and darting out and doing stuff that they do whilst being in that space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 6 of the card only has one setup. Yeah, that's what it looks like, double a fall. Anyone else getting stream hiccups? Oh, guys, let me know if you are. It looks like it's okay from my side, but
I had a
let
bit
me
of
know.
a hiccup on Discord, but that might have just been me.
Yeah, Quinn did have a hiccup on Discord.
Oh no,
Then,
I meant you as a hiccup on Discord for me.
okay.
Yeah.
Then we've got double the fall says if you have no choice for struggle 3, it will be less easy for the winner if the first struggle to win if the first struggle to win the third. I think I get what you're saying there. Double the fall. Look, I think what the thing to remember with this new map pack, this new mission deck, is it's a lot closer, significantly closer in. Those far points out at the end have disappeared. Everything's been brought in, and there's only 7 objectives now. So it's going to bring everything into the center. So I think it's less important around which objectives are going to be active. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, completely agree, Dan. All games have some sort of abstraction. It's just part of it, right? It's just part of it. Cool. So let's get into some of the other stuff then, Quinn, because they did show us a whole bunch of stuff. Starting out with Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight, I believe, is his full title in the game. Couple of things about this pack that I really, really like. It's worth pointing out Luke is the primary, Leia, aka Boushh is the secondary, and then C-3PO and Lando are the supports.
C-3PO? Where's he?
Sorry, R2-D2 and Lando are the supports, but they share a card. This is not like a Inquisitor pack where you choose one of them. They share a card, which I do like, Quinn. I like that you get to show all of them. They told us some options, which I'm really happy about because I am not having Bar2D2 on my board.
Fuck Bar2D2. All my homies hate Bar2D2.
Yeah. So Bar2D2 is gone. I believe, Quinn, they also said that there's going to be some options for Luke as well.
All 4 of them. So there's another helmet for Lando. There is a helmet and hand option for Boushh to be thermal detonator, no helmet. or no thermal detonator.
Why
And
would you
then,
not have a helmet on Boosh, by the way?
Yeah.
It's the coolest part about her.
Also, thermal detonator.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
And then Luke has a tunic option.
Yeah, because I think what they said was... This is obviously to celebrate 40 years of Return of the... 40 years of Return of the Jedi.
I don't
40
know.
years?
I wasn't alive.
40 years of Return of the Jedi.
No,
Jesus.
isn't it 50?
No, it's only 40 years. 40 years. And what they said was that Luke changes. So Luke goes from robed Jedi as he walks into Jabba's palace, but then towards the end, he's got the sort of more iconic black costume. So they've given us the option. Quinn, I really like that. I like the fact that they're giving us options for it. I'm probably going tunic Luke rather than all black Luke, because first of all, I hate painting black, and second of all,
black.
No, I hate it. And second of all, I like that it's on theme with the rest of these guys as well.
I'm just glad they've taken this route rather than doing another Luke that is almost identical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's only one choice: thermal detonator helmet. Sean, you are absolutely right, sir. That is the only choice. Hope Boosh's face sculpt is better than her Endor one. Yeah, she looks like she's had a few bits of Botox that have gone wrong on her Endor sculpt, doesn't she? But yeah,
her face has been ironed.
Yeah. I'm getting Heimdall vibes from Lando, by the way, Quinn. For anyone that's seen the Heimdall sculpt from MCP, but I do like that sculpt. Like, even though he's not dynamic in his pose, like he's stood there as the guard,
it's him ready to spring the trap, right?
Is it a skiff? What's it called?
Yeah, the sand skiff or whatever it is.
Yeah, the sand skiff. So, yeah, really, really like this set, guys. And let's take a quick look at Boucher's card, because we did get not a full card reveal, which every time they did this, I was like, just show us the stance card. But as we can see there, she is going to be the secondary. She's got a tactic, fan out at the start of this unit's activation. One character in this unit or another allied spy may reposition. Spy's interesting, Quinn, and they did say that spy was going to resonate kind of throughout the whole Rebels. For me, it feels like spy is replacing operative, like we got in Legion. I don't know if you think the same, or
why are you talking to me about Legion?
No. So they had a tag operative in Legion. It feels like spy is going to be the same sorts of characters. Your, obviously Leia in this one. Your Andor.
Andor, like Callus, I think.
Callus, yeah. Those sorts of characters.
Yeah.
She costs 4 as well. She's a 9/2, so pretty standard. Low blow. Choose a character in this unit and then enemy character that it is engaged with. Push the chosen character 2 away from the chosen allied character. Then push the chosen allied character 2 towards enemy character. And then make a focus. It's pretty good. Like, it gets somebody off a point.
It's expensive.
But it costs 2. Which feels like a hell of a lot. Luke does have some fairly tasty force refresh going on though, Quinn. So
equally for a 7, he brings less, right? So
he does. His pull is less, but yeah. Then reactive, fearless, and inventive cost 1 when a character in this unit makes a melee attack as part of a combat action. Before dice are rolled, add 2 dice for each enemy character other than the target that is not wounded and engaged with 1 or more characters in this unit. Yeah, I mean, situational, but it can give you extra dice. Again, extra dice is great, but as we always know, extra dice doesn't directly translate into more damage because you have a upper limit, unlike other games, because you've got your tree. So we'll see how viable that is. And then she's got her innate ability. I want 50,000, no less. When a character in this unit wounds an enemy primary unit, gain an additional momentum token unless that unit's controlling player spends a force. I really like this, Quinn. I like the fact that it's giving you something and then it's forcing your opponent. Now, there are obviously factions who do not care. Like Dooku is like, go ahead. But yeah, thoughts overall on Boosh? Obviously, we haven't seen a stance card, and that's really where we.
I was just about to say, like, with all of these, character card reveals without a stance card, you can't really pass major judgment until you've got the stance card. For example, like, I don't know how good I want 50,000 no less is going to be until we know how good she is at actually killing primaries.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how good she is. But yeah, time will tell when we get the full reveal. Let's move on then to the other sort of dark side of this pack, if you like. It's Bat Vader.
Wait, no, that's the wrong thing.
That is the wrong thing.
Who's that?
Yeah. His X-Men theme.
Oh, it's X-Men, yeah, I know.
That is the X-Men theme. New Batman is just Nirvana, isn't it? It's everyone's teen emo grunge music. It's also worth pointing out, obviously, all of these characters are of a different era to the characters that we've had so far. So you do need to take that into consideration when you are squad building. Quinn, Vader with some nameless troopers. Let's talk about this Vader sculpt.
Do we have to?
It's fine.
Is
if
it?
The cape was just down. Like,
even then, it looks like he's falling over.
I think what they've tried to do is, and I think they did sort of say this.
It just failed.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
It's really not great. It's meant to clash with Luke. If you were going to do that, do what the duel packs are made for, and make it so they're dueling each other. Don't make the normal models look like ass. Yeah,
the models from the Legion anniversary one looked really good. In terms of like the poses and things. Obviously, these models are bigger. But yeah, we got some stormtroopers. We've got a stormtrooper sergeant. Let's take a quick look at the stormtrooper sergeant himself. Interestingly, Quinn, he is a 3-point cost, which means the stormtroopers are going to be 4, because we already know that this Vader is 7, which I was quite surprised at.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stormtrooper Sergeant 9-2. He's the secondary, costs 3. He's Galactic Empire Stormtrooper. I mean, makes sense. He's got Inexorable Advance as his tactic. At the start of this unit's activation, you may choose an allied Galactic Empire supporting unit. Each character in this chosen unit may advance. Then if any characters advance, the chosen unit suffers a damage. I looked at that and I was like, what on earth? But what they said they're going for is the fact that stormtroopers apparently are more infinite than clones and they're very disposable. And this is the whole idea of it, is that the sergeant and Vader and things are going to force them to do things. They're going to get hurt along the way. How impactful that is going to be on the game itself, we'll have to wait and see. It's really going to depend on their ability to heal. A little bit like Vader, Vader does
with the Inquisition. Yeah,
with the Inquisition guys.
I think they did call out the fact that like Empire sort of play a mini game within the game of like micromanaging the amount of damage that they take on themselves and like how they use the limited heals they have, which is definitely interesting. Like also, a full advance for a damage is real good, especially on someone like, say, for example, Fifth Brother, who was a support unit.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when he's got inbuilt things to be able to heal himself as well and stuff. So, yeah, I quite like this. And it's each character in the unit. So you're potentially making 2 advances for 1 damage.
Yeah.
which is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good indeed. And it's also a way of being able to balance a tactic that is better than average, but obviously tactics don't cost force. So I quite like it as a way of balancing that. Imperial Firepower costs 1. Choose an enemy character within 4 of 2 or more Galactic Empire characters. The chosen character gains pin or disarm. This can be really nice.
It's nice for like an Anakin or something to just go,
yeah,
no, I'm going to neuter you a bit. Like,
especially because it's not tied to making an attack.
yeah.
I quite like that. So thinking about characters, Quinn, that have got those, those identities, those big hitters in the game, the primaries, your Mother Talzins, your Ahsokas, those sorts of characters who rely on making that dash to get into range to then proc the rest of it, or advance or whatever it may be. If you know that you've got a really good chance of taking down a character, just putting this on one of those can be really, really nice. So yeah, big fan of that. We've got Coordinated Offensive. When a character in this unit or another allied Stormtrooper character makes an attack as part of a combat action, before dice are rolled, this unit may use this ability. Add 1 die to the attack roll for each allied Stormtrooper unit other than the attacking unit that is within 5 of the line of sight and target. So this is going to be their version of coordinated fire, rather than dishing out conditions or straight up damage. It's going to be adding in dice, but it's going to be it's going to scale based on the number of other characters you've got in there. Really promoting the idea of taking multiple Stormtrooper units when we've got more in the game as well, which I do like. And then the lols. Innate ability. Only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise. Characters in this unit have Sharpshooter 1.
Yay.
Okay. I gather. Don't get me wrong, Sharpshooter 1, Quinn, is not to be sniffed at. Especially if you're in the position you want to be in, and you just want to take a shot. Making that focus to turn it on, feels pretty good. But yeah, overall, I quite like him as a secondary, and as a 3
nice
points
cheap secondary. Yeah, I imagine that his stance card isn't going to be great. Like
I can imagine 4 or 5 successes, maybe maxing out his damage at 6 or 7.
I think it might end up being 6, maybe 7 if you get some expertise, because Pons is the only other 3, and Pons has less on the character card and a decent stance card, right?
Yeah.
I do want to call out the fact that, as you said, this guy costs 3. We know New Vader costs 7. So
yes.
How on earth are AMG justifying Stormtroopers being 4 when the 501st, Vader's Fist, are 3?
Well,
that one to me, Richard. Go on.
I can't. I was really surprised that we didn't see Vader as a 6, and it'd be 3/3 if I'm being honest. But yeah, we will see. We'll have more synergy for dual pack Vader and Inquisitors than Pons does. Yeah, absolutely. You got to remember, guys, the Galactic Empire right now in the game, you've got the Inquisitor box, so you've got the Grand Inquisitor, Reaver, 4th and 5th, are all gonna synergize, and of course you've got Vader as well, who so the Vader Jedi Hunter is going to synergize as well. So yeah, Galactic Empire are looking pretty good, and I like that we're forming these. What's the word? We're forming these sort of play styles, and they're kind of shtick within each of the
within each of
the factions. Yeah.
It's also a little bit weird that this guy's only Age of Rebellion era. You would have thought he would have fit into Reign as well.
Yeah, potentially. God, just
Unless
thinking about
Rain
some
is
news.
like very specifically like Bad Batch era, which I'm not sure if it is,
No, no.
because like yeah, it's a bit weird.
Let's take a look, Quinn, at the next box that we're going to get, and this is the one that made Ron very, very happy. Let's just address the elephant in the room, Quinn. Artwork layer, really
Great.
good.
Yeah.
Really, really like it.
Why does she look like a Legion model? She looks like a Legion model. I do not want Legion-looking models in my Star Wars game, thank you.
I don't know what it is with her face. Now,
Oh, it's that there's absolutely no definition to it.
there's no definition in it, is there?
It's a flat sheet with a bit of nose poking out.
She's been using a trowel to put that foundation on in the morning.
Like I said, it looks like her face has been ironed.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, and I don't know if they mentioned it, really, really hoping that they give us a helmet version of Leia. Because first of all, like,
she should have the helmet.
She should have the helmet, right? These people, Quinn, Phil, you know who you are, who build their models to go into combat without a helmet.
In Phil's defense, he does it because all of his characters are clones, and he
needs
clone heads to convey that fact.
I know. One thing I will pick them up on that I am not a fan of is the support unit.
The same, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. B1s and B2s, a little bit different, right?
They are literally the same.
They are manufactured, right? And even then, Quinn, because of the contact points on them, you can still make them look different, right? But they are rank and file. Don't do that with my Ewoks. Like, please, I'm gonna have to go and buy some 3D prints now.
Ewoks, are they?
Well, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna have to go buy some 3D prints now, Quinn, because I won't allow this.
I mean, I would sympathise with you, but I'm not buying this back. So how?
But outside of that, Quinn, obviously, they look awesome, though, right? The Ewoks themselves, they've done such a good job with the models. Would you agree? Look at his face.
They're fine. I didn't care about them in the movie. I don't care about them in the game. Like, they're not the bit of Star Wars I like.
Have you ever watched, excuse me, I do apologise. Have you ever watched the spin-off Star Wars movies? I believe it's called The Caravan of Courage.
Yeah. I rented those from Blockbuster when I was a kid.
Wowzers. Wow, I thought you were a lot younger than that. But yeah, look, this pack looks really, really good. So to clarify, to break down, and Quinn, keep me honest here. Obviously, we've got the 2 support units. Are they calling them trappers? I believe was the terminology they used. So Ewok trappers.
They're called trappers, but in the rules that refer to them, they're Ewok scouts, I think. Like,
okay.
There's a weird dichotomy between like the rules we've seen of like C-3PO and Logray, who like call out these tags, and what they're actually called in like the boxes and stuff. It's just a bit weird.
Right. Okay. So they're going to be the support units. We've got 2 primaries, Quinn, in the form of it's Logray and it's not Leia. It's Leia is the other primary in this.
No,
right?
Logray isn't in this pack. I think it's Wicket and Leia are the primaries in this pack, right?
Ah, okay. So Wicket and Leia are in this pack, right?
Yeah, and then
we've got
whoever the fuck the other Ewok is.
Yeah, we've got the other pack
We've
with
got Keith the Ewok, who's the secondary of this pack. He might as well,
okay.
I don't know. He could be called Keith.
Yeah, Battle for Endor. That's the other one as well. Yeah. Oh damn! Go back and watch them. They are terrible. Not that this is a great fix. Not that this is a great fix, but could you not use the other support Ewoks from the other Ewok squad?
Well, no. Because they are miniatures that represent an entirely different...
Yeah, it's going to be very, very confusing. That's Chief Chirper, not Wicket. Yeah, but in this pack we're getting 1 secondary, 2 primaries I believe. Or is it the other way around?
It's 2 primaries, 1 secondary, I believe. Like, if that's
Yeah.
cheap flip-flop or whatever his name is.
And then in the other pack, they've mixed and matched it a little bit, haven't they?
The other pack
with the images,
is Logray as primary and then 2 secondaries, I believe.
which is C-3PO and R2-D2, right? And then Wicket as well.
is one, and then Wicket is the other. Yeah.
So you kind of get the option to go full Ewoks, or you can throw in Leia, C-3PO, and R2-D2, and then obviously that ties in then with, you know, the Han Solo pack and whatever else.
You go
as well,
for like
so.
a more rebel spin on the Ewoks, or you can go just like, you know, pure, you know, forest murder teddy bears.
Murder cannibal teddy bears.
Yeah, which is what Ron's going to be doing, let's be honest.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You know, they're in the tree!
Oh, here we go. Look, we get the images now from the other one. So this is the second pack. So why did they show Logray on that? Oh no, that's not Logray on this pack, Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this first one here is the pack.
Saying Logray is in the other pack? I've not been saying Logray's in the pack with Leia.
I thought that's what you were saying.
No. There's another primary in that pack with Leia, but it's one of the Ewoks in there, and then Logray is the primary of the other pack.
So this is the other one. Again, I'm going to call them out. Give us multiple sculpts for support units. Like, there's no reason not to. These packs are expensive. You've got plenty of files because you've got all your Legion ones. I wouldn't have even, you know, upscale, make them a bit better and put them in, right? Like, just don't copy and paste them. I'm not a fan of that. So in this pack, we've obviously got Logray, we've got Wicket. Are these the scouts or are these the trappers then?
So these are, let me have a look. So they're the Ewok warriors in terms of tactics.
Oh, warrior.
I don't know what their actual, like, proper name is, because, like, the scouts are the ones with the bows, as far as I'm aware, but they have the trapper name. Like,
right.
It's weird. It's like the distinction between, like, 501st and Clone Trooper, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just a little bit weird. Also, one thing I will say is, I would have much preferred if all the Ewoks looked like the card art instead of what they do look like, with their horrible little noses and lips.
Oh, like, I like them. I think they've done a really good job with it.
They look horrible. I hate them.
Now, they did talk about the Ewoks, about how if you're playing Ewoks, you are going to take a lead. Like, they are balanced in such a way that they are designed to win the first struggle. That is what they do.
Yeah, and then they fall off a lot.
But they fall off because you'll notice there, Quinn, Logray, only a 9-2 as a leader. And I think it's going to be the health pools of these units that are going to potentially hurt them quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we've got Inspiring Presence, his tactic at the start of this unit's activation. Each Ewok warrior gains Hunker and may remove 2 damage or 1 condition from itself. Then each Ewok scout may dash. So are we thinking that these are the warriors and the other ones are the scouts?
I think so. That makes the most sense, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good tactic. Like, there's no range. Like, no range on it, which is pretty good. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty good indeed. The fact that they gain a hunker and may remove 1 condition or remove 2 damage, like, it covers a lot of things, doesn't it? You know, quite often there'll be things that you can do that you don't get because it's just one thing, whereas this has a whole bunch of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Elder's Command, active, cost 1. Choose an allied Ewok supporting character within range 4, and then the choosing character may dash, gain a hunker, remove 1 condition, or make itself a 5-dice attack. It is Tactical Network. Identical, bless you, Quinn, to Tactical Network, obviously, other than the fact that he's not commanding droids. And with that, Quinn, I would assume on his card or on his combat tree, he's going to have the ability to trigger this.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if he didn't have an active ability on his tree. Stealthy approach, cost 1. Each character in this unit may dash. Then this unit may gain a hunker or immediately make a focus action. Again, Quinn, I like the fact that they're giving us options. Because if you're going to, run into combat, then the hunker is useless. Whereas...
Well, you could play Log Grey with Obi-Wan.
You couldn't, because look at his tags.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, no,
it doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter with tags, does it? Yeah. So again, I like this. Protective wards. While this unit is not wounded, characters in other allied Ewok units within 4 add 1 die to their defense rolls. So he's got a lot of the same tropes as a Kalani, but this one obviously being in reverse.
He's Bizarro Kalani.
Bizarro Kalani. I feel like a lot of people will use the excuse whenever they lose with Ewoks, well, we are shit during Struggle 3 by design.
I do like that from a design perspective, though, sort of embodying that guerrilla warfare aspect that the Ewoks adapt.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so indeed. It's also worth noting, Quinn, that this is a innate ability as well, which is nice. And then we've got secret ingredients. His identity. Each time an allied Ewok character wounds an enemy unit, roll an attack die. On a crit or strike result, refresh force. On a fail or expertise result, each character in the attacking unit may dash. Again, it's pretty nice. It's not the world's greatest, but these guys are Ewoks at the end of the day. But yeah, and then he's got Endor Ewok Shaman. Interesting that they are not part of the Rebels.
I mean, they're not the Grey Cards, right?
Which I think is fair, right?
Yeah, because they're not formally part of the rebellion, are they?
They protected their own planet,
Yeah.
or moon. Sorry, not planet, but moon. But you didn't see them signing up and being part of the Rebel Alliance,
and marching along with like little blasters to go and flush out the Imperial remnants. Did you? I think I would have liked them more if we'd seen that actually. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's move on, and then the other one that we've got in here is going to be C-3PO and R2-D2. We have had the full card reveal for them, but we will be breaking that down in a separate video. Ignore that one. Onto some just pure character reveals now, or model reveals. Is this not the best pose of any character in Shatterpoint?
I think, for AMG, this is going to be highly profitable.
Highly profitable, indeed. So, guys, I mentioned that they showed us the Hondo artwork and then they showed us the map pack. And I had a right little hissy fit, Quinn, didn't I? Let's be honest. And I'm not ashamed to say it. However, they showed us this model and they most definitely have redeemed themselves. Just that idea of him walking into the middle of the battle and going, hey, why can't we all be friends? Absolutely love it. We know nothing about his character. I like the pirates. I forget the name of the secondary in this one, Quinn. I don't know if you remember.
I don't know. All I know is that they are Weequay pirates.
Yeah, they're the Weequay pirates. But yeah, stunning models. Really, really like them. Just such a good job on Hondo.
I can kind of take or leave the secondary and support, but that Hondo model is just perfection. It's so good.
It doesn't matter, Quinn. As Magneto would say, perfection. Obi-Wan couldn't work as Ewoks, our Rebellion era, Kenobi, Clone Wars. Is Kenobi cross era?
I'm talking about primary Kenobi. So you take primary Kenobi in one squad, and then Log Ray is the primary of the other one, and then his hunker can stay in combat. Yeah,
so just to clarify, guys, as well, within a strike team, you can have 2 eras. You just can't mix them within your squads. So yeah, but Quinn, they blew away all my expectations on this.
Yeah.
I would much rather have this pose than him, hunkering
Like,
down and shooting.
yeah,
You
trying
know,
to shoot someone like that's not Hondo.
no, absolutely not.
He's a man of peace, not
Absolutely
violence.
not. Indeed, indeed. Let's move on to the next one then, and it is the Mandalorian with the IG-11 assassin droid and Bob's Burgers. Is it? No. What's the guy from Family? No. What's the guy from Family Guy called?
Oh,
Cleveland
Brown.
And Cleveland Brown. Look, I know that Carl Weathers.
Fine.
I know Carl Weathers has put on a little bit of timber since his, rocky days and playing Apollo Creed. But they've done him dirty in this. Like, I'm not a fan of that sculpt at all.
I think it's fine. Once again, I think this is an issue with the paint job where they've not actually got his skin tone right.
Maybe.
His skin tone is wrong, and therefore it blends too much into the outfit he's wearing.
Dear God, what did they do to grief? I really like the IG droid, assassin droid. I think it's really, really nice. For something that is a metal droid, there's a lot of detail on there, and I really do like that. So really, really happy with that. I'm still torn with the Mando sculpt. This was the first sculpt they did. It feels, and I don't know if it's just perspective with where they've positioned him on the screen. It just feels a little small.
That's because the actual model itself is smaller compared to the others if you look at the base. But I think his base is actually smaller, so he's been scaled down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's not going to be that small in person. I'm not, blown away by the sculpt. Equally...
I'd have liked a more dynamic pose, but I gather because they're putting Grogu with him, it's harder.
I don't know. I'll probably just wait until we get secondary Din with primary Bo-Katan.
So, do we think this is a complete squad then, Quinn?
I think so. I imagine at some point early in development, Cara Dune was part of this pack. And suddenly, she stopped being part of this pack. I wonder why. I
really like Cara Dune's character.
Yeah,
we're not going to comment. We're not going to comment on. Or maybe we are.
I'll comment on it. Fuck it.
But look, a Mandalorian leader. We've been talking about it, Quinn. Is much needed.
I mean, it's not going to help the current Mandalorians because of the eras.
No, but at least you'll have at least you can take the Mandalorians with somebody else with these as well. Do you know what I mean? In two different squads. I was surprised that it was only a 3-character pack. Again, I think to your point, there was probably a second support in there in the form of Cara Dune, who has mysteriously disappeared. I wouldn't have mind seeing a couple of the what's his name called? Is he the Ugnaught guy? Is it the Ugnaught?
Oh, Queen.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded seeing that as but
also
he's not.
The Darrenator makes a good point. Din does look like a kid dressing up as the Mandalorian for Halloween.
He does a little bit.
There's something a little bit off with those proportions.
Yeah, it feels like with this one, it was the first sculpt they ever did. Fair enough. But I don't know what it is, Quinn, about it.
His legs might just be a little bit too short. And maybe that is accurately proportioned to what Pedro looks like in the armor, but you don't get many full body shots of him in the show.
No, you really don't, do you? You really don't. Interesting though, as I say, I think they talked about having single unit supports and how they need to be balanced, because obviously losing a body on the board, a character base to contest can be quite big. Interesting.
Can I tell you what I'm actually hoping for from this pack?
Go on.
I'm hoping that Din isn't the primary. And I know it's very, very unlikely, but I want Grief to be the primary, Din to be the secondary, and then IG to be the support, and him just be an absolute mincer.
It ain't happening.
I mean, also, I don't overly care about this pack. Like, if I want Mandalorian era stuff, I want the Armorer, Paz Vizsla, Children of the Watch pack. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I care about.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Again, I think my favourite model from this one, Quinn, is definitely the IG droid. I
really
always
like
want to say
Grief,
88, but it is 11, isn't it?
It's
IG
11.
11.
I like Grief. I think, like, it's just the paint job. Like, he would look fine otherwise.
No. Maybe.
It's okay
Maybe.
to be wrong, Rich.
We'll see. We'll see. On to some Darksaber action, Quinn.
Yeah.
So we've got
the You Have What I Want squad pack, as they call it.
So, really interesting in this one. So we've got Moff Gideon, obviously with the Darksaber as the primary. We've then got a Death Trooper as the secondary. And then we've got the Dark Troopers that we saw in The Mandalorian as the support units. I really like this.
It's very cool. I love the Dark Troopers.
And
I think this is a Death Trooper Sergeant specifically.
Because he's got the pauldron on. Because I don't think all Death Troopers do.
I don't believe they do. And also just because he's fulfilling that secondary role. Because I'm fairly certain that we both know where Death Trooper supports are going.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, We'll get to him in a bit.
You stand here!
No. I think we're genuinely going with your initial idea now.
Oh, you think?
Because I've just watched that episode of Rebels where he has them with him.
Oh,
like,
right,
okay. Those do show up.
Okay. I've just watched an episode of Ahsoka and I've maybe changed my mind. Anyway. But seriously, yeah, like if they do that, mind blown. Anyway. These look stunning. These look absolutely stunning. I like how they are making them very different to what they've done in Legion. Obviously, this is a very recent release in Legion. I didn't realise that Death Troopers were 7 feet tall, by the way.
And the Death Troopers are fucking massive, yeah.
They are huge.
Well, because they're genetically augmented, right?
Yeah. Well, because Moff Gideon's no slouch, right? He's supposed to be, 6 foot plus in the show.
How tall is Giancarlo Esposito?
I always imagine him being small, but that's just from Breaking Bad. But I think he's supposed to be tall and a commanding character.
What's that? He's 1.73 meters, so he's not that tall. He's like 5'9" at the most, 5'8".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe he's got some orthopedic shoes. Defrinator says, I thought we were going to have multiple Dark Troopers on a base. Oh, God, no, that'd be...
For reference, Rich, Moff Gideon is the same height as me. That's how imposing he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not quite as wide, though. Not quite as wide.
Yeah, exactly. He's not got, the bulk to sort of, have presence in a room. Thank you, Rich. Oh,
I think we call it girth. Anyway, really looking forward to this pack. This is obviously going to be another Galactic Empire pack.
Hopefully
so that you can take
New Republic era as well. I'd like it to be both.
He's got the Darksaber in hand. I don't know.
Well, no, because Mandalore falls during Reign of the Empire, right?
The timeline of all of it.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, isn't it, in Star Wars to go hard stop. That is that, because and then go that character is from here because we've got Bo-Katan, right? Bo-Katan is around, right?
Yeah, equally, I think Bo-Katan takes on a more primary position after the
Siege of
Mandalore, and then
she does, and that's how they get around it, right?
I think the weirdest thing for me is the Stormtrooper Sergeant. Why is he not Reign?
Generic
What exactly is Reign if Stormtroopers aren't part of Reign?
Yeah. It just worth pointing out on that. So even if we do get other Stormtroopers part of Reign, the Stormtrooper Sergeant isn't. Everything on his card still works with them. So even though they're different eras, you just can't put them in the same squad, but they will still work with each other. But yeah, absolutely love this, Quinn. Again, more black for me to paint, so yay. But these look really good.
You own what is it, Vallejo Deep Sea Blue? Is that what it's called?
I do not.
Vallejo Dark Sea Blue is the paint you need for black. Like, it is
I've got
incredible.
Dark Sea Green. I
Dark Sea
don't think
Blue is
I've
what you
got
want for those
blue.
sort of like cool black highlights.
Okay, I'll have to have a look at that one. Let's move on then, Quinn. And
Yeah.
so this I have no interest in whatsoever. Will I be buying it? Yes. So Iden Versio, what's the name of the Inferno Squad with the snipery Dal, whatever his name is, guy.
I have a question.
Okay.
Why is the droid from Metal Gear? Why has he got a Metal Gear exclamation mark above his head?
Really weird, isn't it? Really weird. Yeah, these look fine. Like model-wise, proportion-wise, I think, again, they've done a good job. I like that they're true proportioned and not heroic scale, which felt like some of the other ones, like you said, Quinn, were going into that Legion territory. These look really, really nice. What this gives me hope for, Quinn, is Cal Kestis. Because if they can bring them from one computer game, they can bring them from another.
Yeah, I mean, this has always been, like, my argument regarding Cal whenever, like, let's be honest, Ron's tried to shoot it down. Is it Ron or you? It's you that tried to shoot it down.
I never shoot it down.
One of you tried to shoot it down. I don't remember. Like, all your bullying blends into one. But, like, the fact that Iden was in Legion meant that they were allowed to draw from video games full stop for me, even if it's the difference between EA and Respawn. Respawn is owned by EA, as far as I'm aware.
It's not only that. They are licensed. They are still the property of
like Disney
Lucasfilm.
still owns them and can do whatever the fuck they want with them. Like, you can get a Cal Kestis action figure.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, you know, whilst I'll be buying them because, you know, completionist, but yeah, no interest in really playing them. I mean, I will play a bit with them, but for me, it's more that it opens the door to a Cal Kestis. We then got some more Endor packs, Quinn. So, Goth Chewbacca.
Actually, I think you'll find he's an emo.
Emo Chewbacca. I'm hoping this is the paint job. Because
I want to know what the weird thing in his hand is.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Is it a gun?
It's an arm holding a gun. He's ripped the arms off.
No, but it's like a robot arm or something. Like, it's not a people arm.
It is an arm holding a gun, though.
It's something like, is this meant to be like cross-era, I can go anywhere because I was in the Clone Wars Chewbacca, and this is him, like, ripping the arm off a commando droid or something? Like,
really don't know.
wait a minute, isn't that like a separatist, like, battle droid gun?
It looks like it.
What?
Yeah, very, very strange.
Okay.
Very strange. I think the what do they call them?
Rebel Commandos.
Rebel Commandos. I think they look really good.
Yeah,
really cool. Really solid models. You know, I'm getting what's the name of them? I forgot. But yeah, look really, really solid. Han Solo's a bit static for my liking. I don't know. I'd have preferred him in more of a dynamic pose.
As someone who actively dislikes Han Solo as a character, oh no.
But the Chewbacca model is all over the place.
It's weird, man. Like, it's got this, like, weird scenic base that it's on.
Yep.
That none of the others have. I'm curious about the little bit of foliage on that kneeling commando, because is that, like, actually included in the pack? Because if so, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, like,
his arms are too skinny, and then
I don't know if they're too skinny. Like maybe like the upper arm portion, there's not enough fur. Like,
I think that's what it is. Yeah, like I think because there's so much fur down the bottom end, and also his bowcaster. Like,
yeah, what's going on with that? Like,
It looks so disproportioned. It's an arm from an IG droid, is what Jock Cop's saying. Yeah.
I don't remember any instance of him ripping the arm off an IG droid in like a movie. Like,
Well, this is specifically an
also, it's meant to be
Endor
him
pack,
on Endor,
Quinn.
right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a fan of this Chewbacca model at all.
You'll find better 3D prints, let's be honest.
Yeah, the bowcaster for me is oversized. Again, the eyes could be the paint job. Do you know he looks young, and
he looks like a what's his name? He looks like Gunji.
yeah, like he's got a really young face, and he isn't in
Like
Endor, right? He's just not.
I'm right in saying that typically Chewbacca's fur is darker, right?
Yeah, I think the paint job is
like,
whilst it's a good paint, like it's a clean paint job. I just think
like the blends on it are nice and stuff. Like I think just maybe this is a thing that they do specifically for photography, and this is one of the reasons why Grief Karga looks a bit weird. Is they just overall up the brightness of everything on a model.
Yeah,
like for example, look at like Han's jacket, right? Like that is a very sort of faded black, which isn't what it normally looks like. And I think, if you would paint that in person and actually like, do it to try and be screen accurate or whatever, it would look a lot darker than it does on that sort of preview model, right? So I think it is just sort of maybe. Kind of, like a marketing thing. Because also I think, whilst those commandos look great and I like their paint job, I think they're brighter than they arguably should be as well, right?
Yeah, they do look like you'd expect them. They're not hiding themselves from anywhere, are they? With that,
like you think they'd have.
They need a good dip in army painter.
God, shade, lovely.
Has anyone ever done that? Jesus. But yeah, look, we'll see. But there's a couple of little things there, Quinn. That like, how can lightsabers be so thin and then his bowcaster is like oversized? It's like something from Fortnite.
It's a Nerf gun bowcaster.
It does look a bit like that, yeah. I'd have much preferred a two-handed pose with him as well, holding the bowcaster.
Yeah, like doing the actual shot,
yeah. I feel like it's Rebels art style Chewbacca, and I would agree with that, Jock, but they've also gone with Rebel style features in that he's younger, he's smaller, but this is an Endor pack. Like, he is bigger, he is older. Yeah, just it's a swing and a miss for me on that one. Do they use Photoshop for these pictures? Yeah, they do use Photoshop.
Yeah, I think like they may be artificially brightening these models or like briefing the painters to paint them brighter than they should be.
Yeah, they do because we know that they've done it with lightsabers, don't we? They've added glow on lightsabers.
I remember when you thought that was real. That was fun.
Yeah, and then I realised, well, then you told me.
Like, Rich, what the fuck are you on about? Photoshop.
Next up, Quinn.
Oh, wow, we're talking about the incredible terrain piece.
Pardon? No, we're not talking about a terrain piece. I don't need any more goddamn terrain.
We were not talking about the other thing that came before this in the announcements.
What was that thing?
Tick. Hunter.
Oh, it's the next. I've got it as the next one.
Okay.
I've messed them up. Yeah. Here are, Quinn, these 6 order cards for the Ghost Squad.
Well, they are like they're promo order cards, right? As far as we know.
No. I believe that these come in the pack. They're not going to be.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think they are. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be a con exclusive.
I don't know whether they're con exclusive. They might just be like sort of a game night pack for stores.
I don't think they are. I think they come in the pack. But anyway. It doesn't tell us much. What does it tell us? It tells us that 3 characters have got a tactic ability.
Yeah.
So by that, you can take that the secondaries or primaries are going to be not exclusively, but Kanan, Hera, and Sabine.
They're going to be who they should be.
Yeah. And then, Zeb and Chopper are probably going to be supports, right? With Ezra being the other secondary.
There was like a degree of speculation when we saw like the scans that Sabine was somehow a support to Ezra and Kanan. and I immediately rejected that idea because
No. It's going to be Hera, Sabine, Chopper, Kanan, Ezra,
Zeb, yeah.
Zeb.
And you might be able to
So
mix and match, but those will be like sort of the preset squads.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it also clarifies, Quinn, that these are a single strike team. I know, again, there was a lot of confusion about it. Are they going to be two squads, or is it going to be a battle pack where you get to mix and match and everything else? Nope, you can build and field the entire Ghost Squad, which is awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. Really, really like this.
I hope we get an Agent Callus that is just the right cost to slot in for one of the other secondaries.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Yeah, that'd be really good. I can see Ezra to be a support. No.
I mean, not with the version that they've got with the lightsaber. Like, if it was pre-lightsaber, yeah.
Yeah, he's secondary. It will be what we've said. I can imagine it being a pretty standard 844 on both.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know, Chopper doesn't feel like a 4, but maybe. Like, he does have a very high kill count.
He does have a kill count. Yeah, he does have a high kill count. And maybe he does some, he's definitely an active member. I think they said these were promo cards, right? Would love it. I'm sure they came. I'm sure they said they were coming in the pack.
I'm fairly certain they said promo cards, but
assholes if it is. But yeah, really, really like these. I love Rebels. I'm loving Rebels season 5 at the moment. We won't say any. Sorry, Ahsoka. We won't go into any spoilers, obviously. But yeah, really, really like that. And then to round it out, Quinn. Interesting.
I was hoping you'd play like the little organ theme he has whenever he's on screen.
No. Yeah, Chopper doesn't feel like a 4, neither does Reaver. Yeah. We're getting Thrawn. Me and Quinn once did a video that never got released, and we talked about the squad packs that we want, and my number one pick, Quinn, wasn't it? Was Thrawn.
Yeah. That was the video where like I foretold the coming things like coming to pass with the Night Sister pack, right?
Fucking Oracle over here.
Yeah, the Oracle, mate.
I had in my mind what the Thrawn pack was going to be. That has now all changed, and because it is so far into next year when these are going to be coming out, I am really hoping they go with what I've changed my mind to.
Okay. I mean, obviously, the other possibility, with no spoilers involved, is, you get Thrawn, you get Agent Callus secondary, and then you get Death Trooper supports, right?
And we have to remember, this is going to be released alongside, I would imagine, the Ghost Squad pack.
Right? Yeah.
So it is that moment in time in Rebels where they were all going up against Thrawn.
Yeah.
So maybe that is what swings it into...
And then maybe later on you get an Ahsoka version of Thrawn that has whatever that is, because I don't know. I'll get there. I'll finish Rebels off in the next couple days.
No, we're not going through them ones. Cool. Quinn, overall thoughts on what we had, what we got. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no Palpatine.
Which, we know he's coming, right? We do know that he's coming.
Well, I just want it to be the version of Palpatine I want,
Obviously, yes, because you are the most important one.
Yeah. What you're saying that I'm not allowed to want the things that I like? Oh, no.
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to want the things
like you're allowed to sit here and jerk off over Thrawn like all day long,
100%, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions?
I was gonna say, like, when you mentioned taking over the mod, it felt a lot like when Palpatine announces his new galactic empire. You had that same sort of villainous vibe to you.
I did a little bit, didn't I? I did a little bit.
I am the Senate.
Yeah, look, guys. Overall, Shatterpoint, the future is bright. I mean, we already knew this. The amount of content they've got to pull from is vast. It's just huge, and yeah, really, really looking forward to the next 12 months. Really excited about getting hands on the new map pack, and yeah, overall, Quinn, just really positive for Shatterpoint. I really, really like what they're doing with it. Not getting bored of the game whatsoever.
No.
I'm actually playing a little bit more MCP at the moment.
Yeah,
But yeah, really, really like what they are doing. Quinn, on to the painting competition. I
you
have
definitely
no idea.
didn't forget this week.
I have no idea who picked this one.
Ron picked it, I think.
So it was Ron's pick, and it was show us your Captain Rexes.
Yeah.
And so what is the paint competition? Every other week when we do the Wanga, we will give you a character to paint, and then basically you submit them. It's just a little bit of fun, but you will get put into a prize draw, which I don't know if we know what we're doing for this one. We'll wait and see.
We've not got like another duel pack to do, but that wasn't what this was anyway, right?
No.
That was when we hit like, what was it, 5k?
Yeah, we will put a prize in at some point. We don't know what it is. Maybe we'll give away a map pack because that's coming pretty soon. Actually,
I know. Let's do that really cool new piece of terrain we didn't do anything with.
No. So let's Quinn, you pick this one out because Ron's not with us today.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, guys, Ron's not with us. He's just very, very busy at the moment. So yeah, he will be joining us for future videos, especially when the little Ewoks all come out.
I feel like I might just, tag out and go, Ron, have you filled with them? Like, fucking murder teddy bears, piss off.
So you pick this one, Quinn, and it is from Matt, and this is his Captain Rex. So what stood out on this one for you, Quinn? Let's just zoom in a little bit.
So it's not actually visible on, like, this. So it's a little bit visible on that right shoulder pad. But, one, it's a very clean paint job. Especially around the helmet area, I think there's some nice definition going on there with, like, the sort of shape of the helmet. But also, on the arms, like, down along them in the blue striped sections, he has done the white tally marks that Rex has on his armor. And I can tell you from experience, after trying to paint one of my 212s as, I think it was, Waxer, that's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I really like this one. I thought it was a really, really solid paint job. And again, guys, just to, when we do these painting competitions, we're not, there are some amazing painters in our community. Blow anything out the water that I could ever do. But what we're looking for is, something a little bit different. This is just a really, really nice, good, clean paint job. That I'm sure anyone would be happy to have on the table, and I do like the little alien tufts on there as well.
The sort of
I am a fan.
vibe, right?
I am a fan of the alien tufts.
Oh, I think Laura's being threatened. Someone's got a crush on you, Rich.
Trevor Fuster says, "Rich mid, I have a crush on you." Trevor, you are only human, buddy. What can I say? When you're packing this, it's gonna happen.
Wait, is this some sort of ad placement for Specsavers?
Yeah, basically. Quinn, I don't know whose turn it is, but I'm going to pass it over to you.
It's yours.
Oh, it's my turn.
The reason it was Ron's turn last time is because I chose for Ron the previous week. So now it's your go.
Who knows? So
I know because I keep track of this.
For the painting competition, this time round, we've had some cloney people. Do you know what, Quinn?
We had Grievous the week before, so...
Because it's who I'm painting up at the moment.
Oh.
Show me your bounty hunters. So it can be any character with the tag, or any unit with the tag bounty hunters, or bounty hunter. It can be a single model. It could be a whole squad of them. It can be all 5 models that there are.
It can be a decapitated Django helmet.
It can be, whatever it is you want. So theme this week, guys, is going to be bounty hunters. So submit your entries, head on over to the Discord. You'll see a a channel in there to put all your entries in. And yes, guys, we are going to be back on a more regular basis now. It will be every other week. That's Dirty Rich. They haven't even been released here yet. Sounds like a you problem, Phil. Everyone's got Django. That's why I said bounty hunters and not just Cad Bane. So you can put your Django's in there as well. Cool. Okay, guys, we're going to leave it for there. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with us over the past month or so. I know that it's been a little bit less regular. You guys have really been enjoying the content that we've been doing from MinStravaganza. We're going to be continuing that. Yes, we are milking this. We're going to be continuing that with some more character breakdowns. Yes, I am taking over the TTS. Head on over there, go check it out. It is now live again. We've got a brand new mod up, so you need to update your mod to the latest version. It's the only one that's on there now. You'll see it, Shatterpoint for TTS. It's got some cool, at least one cool new map, hopefully 2 cool new maps by the end of today. And we will be starting the TTS League back up again once this lot of elimination rounds has been, or elimination event has been finished. We'll leave it there, guys. Big thank you to Leodis Games. Big thank you to the Patreons. If you could like, share, subscribe, it really, really does help. And as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say